Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. The stage is set. The championship series are coming. The teams are finalized. The Giants aren't involved. Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, brought to you by DraftKings. My name is Jimmy. Sitting next to me is Jake. In California, we got Trevor Plouffe. And behind the dish, we have producer BBD. There was one game of baseball yesterday. It was a Game 5 elimination game. What we all want to happen, and it came down to action in the last inning. What we all wanted to happen, and then it ended in a deflating way, but it gives us some good stuff to talk about. We have the ALCS Houston Astros hosting the Boston Red Sox starting tonight. We will preview that, and then we will preview the NLCS Braves-Dodgers. They're running it back 2 years in a row. That's what we have on the slate today. Jake, how you doing? Nice shirt.
James, Trevor, BBD, everyone live in the chat, and everyone you've ever met. I hope you're having a good day today. Baseball hot in the streets late last night, especially on the left coast. Still hot in the streets this morning. Heard there was some West Coast radio stations playing our reaction to the check swing last night.
Really?
Yeah, man. We're
That's
out
cool.
there. We're on the internet. Man, it's Trev. I'm going to have to see how much I'm going to have to keep you in check because we talked about this the other day. I mean, what do you do with this, man? These are two great teams that came down to the deciding game in the ninth inning. Someone had to lose, which is a really lame phrase, but it's true in baseball, especially baseball. What an ending, an all-timer, like a rivalry in the sport, a call that's going to be remembered for a long time. And, man, a couple big series coming up. So I'm doing good, Trev. What's going on over there?
Dun it. Dun it. Dun it. Dun it. Oh, my gosh. They did it. I don't want to talk about the check swing that much, you guys. I really don't. I think the game was too good to talk about it. We'll get into it. I enjoyed watching it. It's everything you wanted in a Game 5 or deciding game, whatever you want to call it. Excellent game of baseball. I'm excited to talk about it. I said that 3 times already. I don't know what else to say. I'm having a great day. My second cup of coffee tastes delicious. James, how are you doing?
I haven't even had my first cup. I ordered it from Uber Eats to come here, and I just checked
What?
Uber Eats, and it says that it's not even on its way, but maybe I'm logged into a different account on the other computer, and I hope it's still coming. No coffee for me yet today.
Is it iced?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I was going to say, if you ordered a coffee on Uber Eats, it's going to be lukewarm, and then we're going to have problems. But iced, I get. Okay.
Iced coffee and some breakfast. It's hot here.
It's hot here.
It's not supposed to be hot mid-October.
It's like hot here.
It's hot. It's 80 degrees. Stupid. Piss me off.
Piss me right off.
Baseball's. That's the baseball on the streets,
Yeah.
I think.
Well, Gabe Morales was not ready to make the call. But Jake, you ready
I think
to
I'm
burn?
ready.
Oh, my gosh, please.
Do you guys mind if I do?
Well, I do mind. Because first I got to tell you.
How are your boners?
It's a good question.
It's a great question.
Thank you.
It's like I got to check in.
My boners are great, Jake.
Working, sleeping, working, sleeping. Just spending a lot of time with you and BBD on a couch.
Yeah.
You know?
So good.
So I don't know. I could be in a great spot or a horrible spot.
Yeah.
It's been tough. I got to go to getroman.com/talkin. I'll answer them. Hey, I've been hanging out with a bunch of dudes on couches eating pizza and talking baseball. And I haven't been that aroused lately.
I've been getting a lot of boners.
Do I got a problem with me, Doc? GetRoman.com/talkin. With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation, ongoing care for ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, it ships to you free with 2-day shipping. Whole process is straightforward and discreet. You got to go to GetRoman.com/talkin now to get $15 off your first month. Guys, there's a straightforward way to take care of your ED. GetRoman.com/talkin.
A lot of guys were Roman ready last night.
A lot of
Scherzer,
guys. Good performance out of a lot
Darren
of guys.
Logan Webb.
Get started now. Save $15 off your first month of treatment. Get Roman.
Oh, my gosh. Yes.
Jake, are you ready?
I think so, guys.
Well, let's just have ourselves a time. Burn, Jakey Burn!
It's win or go home in the Bay Area. E40 behind home plate, and a little bit of a daredevil stunt by the Dodgers as Corey Evil Knievel gets the opener start, as there was no doubt who was getting the ball for the Giants, as Logan Spiderwebs was what the Dodgers were walking into. Knievel does his job, same with Brewstar, as he's wired on some Gratterall. And here comes 2020 playoff hero Julio Urias out of the pen for LA. And what a pitcher's duel we have. Scoreless into the sixth until grab a cigar. Corey Seager opens up the scoring RBI. It's 1-0 Dodgers, but the Giants were ready to get rough with it, huh? Darren goes deep. Good movie. Locked up at ones, and we're going that into the ninth. Cody screams, "Get in my belly," as Doval tried to slide his way past him. Turner scores, and here comes the bad man out of the pen, Max Scherzer. 2 outs, and sorry, Wilmer, cash only, no checks. Punched out on a controversial check swing. The Dodgers win 2-1. They take the series 3-2 in the Bay. Woo.
Can you go from the get in my belly to the end there? That was artistic.
I was really mad. I had a good no doubt Spiderwebs thing. I slaughtered it a little bit.
I didn't hear that.
Cody screams. Yeah, that was the sneaky. There was no doubt who was starting for the Giants. Logan Spiderwebs.
I don't think I would have caught it.
Brewstar and Adderall.
Yeah,
Get in my belly as Duvall tries to slide his way past
like
him. All
that.
the sliders. I know you're a
Way too
sequence
many.
guy. Couple sequence guys. And then sorry, Wilmer, cash only, no checks.
Like that one.
That's a little 2000s reference. Credit early 2000s, 90s. People are starting to realize checks are kind of fake.
What about Apple Pay?
Didn't
Is
exist.
that allowed?
exist.
It's allowed.
You guys own all that crypto money now, too.
Yeah,
rich.
we've been getting some money. Darren Ruff was trying to...
Wealthy. 3-homer game out of Darren Ruff is pretty cool.
Darren Ruff was locked in, man. Yeah, I mean, the
was
check
locked
swing
in.
at the end, it sucks. It sucks primarily. Like, I don't think you can say the Giants got screwed out of a win, and I don't think anyone is saying that. There's a lot of Dodgers fans acting like people are saying that, but no one's actually saying that. It's just a horrible way to end a fantastic 5-game series and a really intense moment. It's basically like when you're playing video games or your buddy's playing video games and he's in like the last matchup and then your other buddy in the room just pulls the plug out and like now he just doesn't get the sense of victory or defeat. It's just like kind of like incomplete. Whatever emotion we were supposed to feel, we got a third party came in and pulled it over our eyes. So it's a bad call, but obviously it's one pitch over the course of a 5-game series. But it's just deflating, man. Like, damn.
Yeah, like in people that are complaining about it, it's because these two teams are so good. It's like a compliment to the Dodgers and the Giants. It's like we just wanted to see this game play out. We didn't want to see it end on a check call like that. And honestly, this is going to sound dumb and people are going to like be so mad at me for saying this, but I still don't think we know who the better team is. I really don't. Like, that game was so equally contested. I know the Dodgers won, and here we go. They're moving on, so they're technically the better team. But, like, this series was so freaking good. Like, these two teams matched up against each other so well. I mean, it's a shame that it went 5 games. We wish it would have went 7. I know it can't, but you know what I'm saying. Like, this matchup was magical.
Yeah.
What was supposed to happen was late night Lamont's foul ball homer was supposed to be a fair ball, and we were supposed to have magic. And
Supposed to be a double down the line, extra innings, keep it rolling.
Because then the Justin Turner play is the Giants' magic, gets the tying run on. Late night Lamont comes through in the 9th inning, and like the Dodgers seemingly still can't catch the Giants, and every storyline from the regular season continues. But I am happy to see both teams advance. You know what I mean? Like, I wish this was the championship series, but either way, it was kind of a win for third-party fans knowing one of these teams is going to get 4 more games because they're very fun to watch.
It definitely opens up some of the playoff questions that people like to yell, but they don't necessarily have an answer for, whether it's, reseeding during the playoffs or whatever it is. Because, I mean, these might not be not only the 2 best teams in the NL, these could be the 2 best teams in baseball this year. I mean, I know it all ends with the check swing, literally and figuratively, but all the dudes who got involved with the Dodgers. I mean, Max Scherzer, trade deadline. One of the best to ever do it. Might have stumbled his way into another Cy Young. Urias, now a back-to-back playoff hero. Corey Seager, last year's World Series MVP. He has the hit. Belly, a former MVP. And then on the Giants side of it, Giants fans and West Coast people that sometimes you feel snubbed, you should on the Logan Webb front. Because what he did this playoffs, he deserved more love. His stats by the end of the year were up there with a lot of other pitchers in baseball, and boy, is that kid gross. Dropped it twice on the Dodgers. Roberts does, Knievel, Brewstar, and Urias, and Logan Webb still goes toe-to-toe with them. When he comes out of the game after 7 innings, it's 1-1. So shout out to them. It's Trev, you're all over it. It's kind of this sick part of baseball that baseball's not supposed to be a one-game sport. It's why we get mad at the wild card. But it's what makes these games so crazy because, I was saying it the other day. We'd be talking about how this is the Giants and they're the magical team and what a year. Like, we'd be saying, are they one of the most underrated teams ever? Because we never fully believed in them. And now these Dodgers have a chance to become, like, back-to-back. And they've got probably the most talent and all that. So it's nuts that it comes down to little plays like check swings. I mean, Justin Turner boots that ball in the 9th. You're starting to wonder, is that going to mean something? But it was great baseball. Literally, someone had to lose, which is a sports phrase I don't like, so I'm going to stop saying it.
You keep saying
I'm
it.
gonna
Stop fucking saying it.
Well, tonight's game, has to lose it.
It's true.
Good take, Jim.
We have some good notes here from Eric, who's been helping with stats on. I didn't even know Morales had a quote on it. The umpire. He said, check swings are one of the hardest calls we have. I don't have the benefit of multiple camera angles when I'm watching it live. When it happened live, I thought he went, so that's why I called it a swing. Which is honest and, like, it seems like a good quote. Also seems like he's advocating for a replay. He's kind of admitting.
Would have been nice to have another look
Would have
at
been.
it.
It's kind of admitting would have been nice to have multiple looks because when I saw it live, I called it a swing, which alludes to the fact that when he saw the replay, he probably didn't think so. Because if he saw the replay, he would have doubled down. So, yeah, that's kind of an interesting quote. Maybe umpires would rather get the call right with multiple angles and help, which we have the technology to do.
That's why I hate, the general public kind of the way that they've reacted to it. It's just Gabe Morales sucks. He's a bad umpire. Shouldn't be there. It's like, no, these guys are good. They're the best umpires that we have. Okay, it's just that these calls are very hard. The guy is standing 100+ feet away, looking at a guy swinging the bat in real time and having to decide if that bat crossed the plane or if there was intent. That's another thing. The rule itself is so vague. But how they usually call it is if that bat crosses the plane, which this one didn't. But trying to do that in real time is very, very difficult. So, like, yeah, he made the wrong call. But, like, we should be talking more about, like, let's fix this. It should be either reviewable or they should have some sort of technology that can say, yes, he broke the plane. No, he didn't break the plane. Because it's just too difficult of a call.
Yeah, and we have a quote from Dale Scott, who's our good friend and has been on the show a lot, explaining that, Trev. He goes, the general concept, this is Dale Scott, the former umpire, saying, the general concept, did the hitter offer at the pitch? Most pitchers will say yes, hitters not so much. This is interesting. He says, sometimes the bat moves very little, but he offered. Other times the bat moves a lot, but he checked. Like, in the end, it comes down to judgment. So everyone can be vary wildly. He's like, there's no clarity on the rule. Like, as an umpire, just saying, like, that's a hard fucking rule for us to do.
Yeah.
Wish they would help out. So let's talk about the game before that. The saddest thing is that Logan Webb doesn't get to move on because he is so fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Just so fun.
It's so difficult as a hitter when you're facing a guy like that. The ball comes out straight and then just goes two opposite ways. And he was dotting it up to everyone last night. There was one at bat in particular, I think it was to Chris Taylor, where he just busted him up and in with one of his two seamers. And the thing started like outer third and ended up just perfectly in the upper right-hand quadrant of the plate and just tied him up. Those are super difficult pitches to throw, and they're impossible to lay off. And I mean, that's just kind of what he does. He presents everything as a strike and then just runs. And as I was watching the game last night, I was trying to put myself in the box. Like, if I was up there, like, what would it look like? And there are certain guys, most of the time when guys are throwing off speed or their fastball's moving a lot, you can kind of say, okay, if it starts here, it's going to end here. And there's like an end point to, the shape of the ball. When you watch Logan Webb pitch, if the catcher doesn't catch his ball, it looks like it's going to keep going that way forever. It's like, I don't think he has, like, I don't know. I haven't looked this up yet, so I don't know what his spin is, but like, it looks like his ball is spinning more than anybody's in the league. Like, the way that it just starts to move and then just keeps moving is, as a hitter, it's just difficult to barrel that up. You don't have that spot to get to. You can't say in your mind, this ball starting here, this is where it's going to end up. His just keep going. It's really fun to watch him.
Maybe I must like you the pitch Trevor was just talking about.
It's art, man. It's part of the reason I don't, got the Talkin baseball audience, but if you're trying to rope anyone in the game, it's that every pitcher's fastball is different because every pitcher is a different size and throws from a slightly different arm angle. And from that slot he throws some to throw that fastball, it just, when he hits it right, it takes off. It's wild. And by the end, he got the changeup playing well off of it. And even the slider, I mean, I think, and Trev, I'd kick it back to you on this, but, if someone's coming out of that arm slot and they're really ripping the fastball, I think you're kind of hoping you can pick up the slider a little bit because it's a different release, but it didn't look like anyone was picking up anything off of him.
To me, it looks like his pitches come out on a straight line and then just go like this.
Yeah.
And you just have to kind of guess. And like I said, usually if you guess right, the end point. But for his pitches just don't stop moving. And he was locating too last night. Like the pitch that BBD just showed right there, that is absolutely filthy. You can't do anything with that pitch.
I sure can't.
Look at this thing. You get this, Jake?
I'm seeing it. Whoops.
He's a star, man.
The guy sharing the bump with him, just as impressive. What did you think of the Dodgers, the way they went about it with Knebel early, then Gratterall, then you go to Urias for 5. Apparently, Roberts texted Kapler the night before and said, hey, we're starting Knebel. You did see starting the righty Knebel, you did see they started La Stella and then pinch hit him as soon as Urias was in with Solano. So Cap made his moves earlier in the game. Usually if you start Urias, you who knows who they start, but then you make your moves later in the game. I like it because it worked. Knievel was very close to it not working. Ruff absolutely bombed one off him. Mookie bombed one off him. He didn't have his curveball those first couple batters, and then he just kept going with it for who was the Seager, I think. Yeah, Seager. But it was very close to not working with Knievel.
Knievel, yeah, you mentioned a couple Dodgers hitters there. Posey and Crawford, or who you're
Crawford's
talking about?
Crawford's the lefty. Shortstop, lefty.
I knew where you're going with it. I liked it only because, it worked, so you like it. But I liked Urias deep in the game. I think I talked about that in the live stream last night. The deeper you got that guy in later innings, the better chance the Dodgers had, and that's kind of what happened. Anytime you get him into the game, and they called him a bulk guy yesterday, which is these terms kind of hurt my soul a little bit. But I said it before. I'll say it again. I don't know if there's another pitcher I trust on the mound in the playoffs more than him. I know he gave it to Homer to Ruff, but that was a good pitch. Ruff just made a really, really good swing. People were saying that was just middle. It was not middle. That thing was coming from the left-handed batter's box. His angle on that fastball is so tough. And if you watch Ruff's swing, just pulled his hands in. Jake, you know how you get your hands in.
You got to get your hands through, man.
They call it beating the ball to the spot. He did that, man. And it was just a beautiful swing. But Urias was – all the pitchers pitched well. Even Duvall, he hits Turner. That ends up being his demise, basically. But – shoot, man, all these guys deserve all the credit in the world. It was such a perfect baseball game.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'll kind of reverse play the result. I didn't love it. Just because Urias, it's not like this guy isn't stretched out or anything. He's been a starting pitcher, so he could have done what Logan Webb did yesterday. And that wouldn't have surprised anyone. So it works. Knievel and Gratterall both led on 2 base runners, so you're just, I don't know, we're a broken bat away from talking about the Giants went up early, and you're talking about how close these teams are and how that would have changed the path of this game. So it worked. You can't complain about it. And yeah, I get maybe it's just wanting traditional baseball because Urias would have went toe to toe with Webb the whole time. That's, hey, good for Dave Roberts, empowering, believing in his guys, and it worked out.
And Scherzer.
Yeah.
Psycho. Scherzer. Going crazy afterwards.
Nuts.
Absolutely nuts.
Yeah,
the Dodgers are just laughing at him.
He's an insane person.
He's crazy. Someone just brought it up in the chat. The Giants scored 10 runs in 5 games. You're not gonna win doing that. And I think that's a testament to the Dodgers pitching more than it is to their offense. And Scherzer is obviously a big part of that. I wasn't sure how he was going to look coming out of the pen. If his stuff was going to play, it played. All his stuff had zip on it. He looked great. After basically, that's pretty funny. After basically them coming out and Dave Roberts saying, I don't think he's going to be available tonight. I don't know if he was playing it coy or what, or if he actually thought that. And then Max was like, no, fuck that. I'm going to pitch. But him coming out of the bullpen, that's not easy for a starter to do that.
It's his first career save.
He looked good.
And, hey, talk about playing results a little bit. Scherzer's nasty, and you're going to bet on Max Scherzer. But, Lamont pulled that ball. I know it's not super close, but Lamont puts a charge into one. If Scherzer had got, we'd be sitting here Scherzer trying to get his first ever save. I don't know, Dave. It all worked. Their team is nasty. Sorry, Giants fans. What are Giants fans doing today? Just sad?
That pitch to strike out late night Lamont, that backup slider, which he didn't mean to throw, was filthy.
So we said. That's what we said on the live stream. We're like, oh, great pitch. He didn't want to do that. That was it was a bad pitch that became a great pitch.
Great spot, just up and away backup slider. It was like a Daisuke Matsuzaki gyro ball to the top right quadrant.
Cement mixer, perfectly located.
Tough, man.
Right there. That's where the
Longo was so close to getting up to win the game.
That is what you texted before the inning.
I thought he was up. I thought he was up in Flores' spot. I thought he was the fourth batter up. He ended up being the fifth guy. So,
man,
left on deck.
It's such a sick sport. It's stuff you're gonna forget over time. Flores, the first pitch of that at bat was kind of a hanger, middle,
and he went like that.
And he wanted to he couldn't just release it. Like he must have been sitting heater. But yeah, man. I mean, it's the little stuff like that that dictates a baseball game between two teams that were forces this year.
Did they both end up the Dodgers end up winning one more game than the Giants because of the wild card game, right?
Well, they won 4 in the postseason. The Giants won,
I think,
2.
Going into last night, I think each team had 109, so the Dodgers now have 110. Yeah. It's a lot of dubs.
God, I'd love to see that series played again. That was so cool, man.
Do the Braves have 90 wins?
They might not. I don't know.
I was trying to ask, and maybe I'll ask some of the people that we know that do research, is what's the biggest difference in a championship series matchup? Jake said the 06 Cardinals. Was it 06 or was that 13?
I think is it 06, 07? I mean, yeah, that was the team that got there. They were like a game or two above 500. Let's see. The Braves have 3 wins this postseason.
I think 91 wins.
Chop on. Let's say that.
Oh, man. The Dodgers are hitting like their stride right now, too, which is not good for the rest of the baseball teams.
Also, we barely said the dude's name. Mookie Betts, 4 for 4.
Mookie Betts.
Chris Bryant with an incredible series. Yeah, Mookie, I don't know. You take one of those hits away. What does this game look like?
Stolen base was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Felt bad for the old men. That shot of Longoria on the bench was pretty tough. He's not sure how many rodeos he's got left in the tank, and this team was so good. That sucked a little bit. Big game.
Who's the number one priority for them? Giants. Is it Gossman or Bryant?
Gossman. Pitching.
I might go Bryant, just because it seems like they can find.
I think they need
pitching.
Bryant back too.
Like they kind of made Gossman. They've now made Webb.
They made a lot of the hitters too, though.
Yeah,
the whole team's reclamation.
But what was?
Let them both go.
What was the Chris Bryant, the first player to ever start 4 different positions in a playoff series?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to previewing some stuff.
Woo!
Tonight, Jake, myself, the Beebs. Do we have a guest?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. We'll be live streaming Game 1. Houston versus Boston. Dugout Mugs has been with us the entire way. We've been working with them from the start. They've been working with us all postseason. You got to go to dugoutmugs.com/talkin, and you can get a free knob shot. You just got to pay the shipping and handling right now. They're also giving away free products all playoffs long. All you have to do is film yourself drinking from any Dugout Mug product, post it, and tag them on social to be entered to win. If you don't have anything from Dugout Mugs, they're giving you a great discount. The free knob shot. They have an awesome collection of products from mugs, wine glasses, bottle openers, shot glasses, all made from baseball bats. The perfect gift for the holidays. They will be riding with us for the entire playoffs, so make sure to get in on the fun and support our friends over at Dugout Mugs. DugoutMugs.com/talkin. Drinking out of my Dugout mug. Jake drank out of the Giants Dugout mug last night. I drank out of the Dodgers, so maybe Jake jinxed them like you did, Trev.
People are talking.
Why does everyone say I jinxed everybody?
Well, the Cardinals and
my
Yankees.
picks have been in since the preseason.
No. Just your clothing apparel.
Oh, just for the wild card.
Did you not wear socks one day and the White Sox lost?
Yeah, that's true. I wore socks.
Yeah, you never wore Red Sox, so they survived.
Very
People are saying that I am the greatest sports handicapper in the game right now.
I did.
What would my odds have been on?
I heard
my Braves Houston
of people
pick
say that.
Does our JM Gaming start today?
It does.
We should advertise that, huh?
Yeah. We got a new series and a new channel launching today. 6 o'clock, I think the first matchup drops. A little pregame for the game.
Let's go.
CS.
Of the CS's JM Gaming.
You versus Joe's McFly baseball.
Me versus Joe's, yeah.
Wow. Go check
Played
that out, guys.
Played a baseball tournament. Winner gets $1,000.
If you're into gaming, if you're into love, go watch it.
JM Gaming. All right.
I like love.
Houston Red Sox. Biggest news. McCullers not even on the roster. It's like big news.
Trev's guy.
That's really big news.
It's not small news. It like shifts my entire thought on the series, if I'm being honest. Like I was choosing the Astros, and now that makes me think the Red Sox are going to win. Like that's how big of news that is for me personally. McCullers was probably going to deal twice.
It's tough. I think it was going to be a slugfest even with McCullers here. I think it's absolutely going to be a slugfest without McCullers. I think this is going to be just runs after runs after runs. Big homers. It's going to be a fun series to watch if you like homers in 8-7 games.
I wonder what they have the over-under as.
Framber Sale tonight. That one's kind of I think a big advantage. Houston Sale just hasn't had it against righties all year, and all the Houston Astros. I mean, Altuve, Bregman, Gurriel, Correa. That's going to be a tough matchup. Interested Framber. He's been in it. Tiny glove. We love him. Both these lineups are stacked right now. If you go look at the stats from each team during the DS, I think Christian Arroyo was the worst hitting Red Sox player, and he was still slapping it around. Like his numbers weren't bad. Everyone else was like above average to really good for them. And for the Astros, I think their only guy who had a tough series against the White Sox was Gurriel, who won the batting title in his last game. He did have 2 hits. So, like, these lineups are absolutely stacked. I think where the 7-game series gets interesting for me is who's going to have the bad day that kind of changes the bullpen. You know, that's how baseball lives these days. Is it Sale today? And do the Red Sox have to open it up? Pavetta's supposed to start Game 4. So he can't be like a full burn. They're going to have Houck and Pivetta. How does Cora manage those guys? That's going to be key to this series. Framber, Luis Garcia, or Urquidy. I know they're not names that, you know, when we talk about the elite pitchers, but they're really good pitchers that have been in this moment before. And Oda Rizzi, our guy, fills in. Like, that's not, you know, how many times during a playoff game are we talking about, like, we'll see what he's got, or they're bringing up some kid and is the moment too big for him? Like, Odo's going to be there. So I don't know. I still very much lean Houston. I hope this series is a display of hitting, and I think it will be.
Yeah, I think I agree with your point. It's a battle of nutrition, and which team is going to have to burn their bullpen on a loss, and which team is going to have to which team can save their bullpen on a loss. Kind of saw that with the Red Sox Rays a little bit, but you know, the first team that is down 6-0 after like 3, how do they handle that? And do they have a guy that can just go?
I think if we see that early, I think we're going to see some, like, maybe a game punted where we have a guy just out there wearing it and taking the brunt of the innings. You know, the Astros have Greinke that can eat up innings. He's not stretched out. They're gonna have to start one of either Odo or Greinke, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Depending on how these games go, they could do a bullpen day if their bullpen's fresh. But it seems to me like they're going to have to choose between one of those guys. So maybe Odo ends up being the innings eater guy. Cora's not afraid to mess around the first 2 games. If he needs to bring in Pivetta, I bet he brings in Pivetta. You know, like, yeah. I think he's managing to win these early games, and he'll figure it out later, rather than saying, no, let's save him for, you know, game 4 or whenever he's scheduled to start. So I agree, though. Yes, this is going to be where, you know, some of these managers have to earn their money, deciding these. Making decisions early in the series that are going to have big implications towards the back end of the series. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle it. Also, our header is completely wrong, but I like it. It's very much talking baseball.
Talking baseball.
Do you guys see it?
What's wrong with that?
There's no team called the Dodgers, but we're running with it.
Dodgers, man.
Yeah.
You see the Dodgers last night? That was me on the street corner of the Bronx. You guys see the Dodgers last night? Nobody talks to
So
me.
we're all in agreement this is going to be just an absolute bloodbath. Runs.
There's
Yeah.
going to be no easy innings for pitchers.
I have like no faith in Sale, but I don't know why you would at this.
He
point.
said he figured something out.
Okay.
David Price said that before, and it worked.
Speak
Yeah,
into
dude.
existence.
David Price did say that before, and he did. That was awesome.
Yeah.
He said he felt something in the bullpen, like his alignment was wrong, and he just like, oh yeah, that's what's going on.
And
So-
that's where I know the Cora factor, whatever you call it, just being able to react and kind of what we want to see more managers being able to do. You know, Chris Sale, weird year for him, coming off injury. Is he fully stretched out at this point? I mean, what are his last couple outings and when were they? Like, if you get 2 clean innings out of Chris Sale and say the Red Sox are up 2-0, can you pivot and go to Houck and try to get this win? Does that not sound like something Alex Cora would do? So I love that. And we know Dusty has a plan. And we're talking about this. I think you said war of nutrition, Jim. I think we lean attrition.
There's wars of nutrition.
There's wars
as
of
well.
nutrition.
I've heard that too. Yeah, it's a food fight.
You want to be healthy. And
No, like that's an actual Civil War thing. Civil War was a war of nutrition.
okay.
Probably attrition means better, but people acting like it's a crazy thing to say is wild. Like not having supplies and attacking the other food supplies is like a fucking war strategy. It's called a war of nutrition.
Okay.
Also, just a food fight in a cafeteria is also a war of
Hook.
nutrition.
Has a great war of nutrition
Yep.
battle plan.
Okay.
The South got blockaded. They had no food. They had to go door to door and ask strangers to cook them meals. It's a war of nutrition.
That's where you went wrong building a moat around your mansion is now we can also perform a war of nutrition.
no, I just have
against
too
you
many
because
dead
you-
animals that have drowned in it.
I mean,
And Jake won't get them out.
if it comes out that the Red Sox don't get fed before this game, whoa.
You're right on it, Jim.
They should
Dusty-
do that.
Dusty has a plan. Confirmed.
sure.
Weren't they talking about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at some point? What was going on there?
Always.
That was a football game.
That was a
I think.
football game.
What? They didn't feed him?
They said that it was too much peanut butter on the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. The ratio was way off. They were getting dry mouth.
Like on purpose they did that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you fuck with other teams' meals?
Because it's
Yeah, it's
bullshit.
tough.
The Astros make opposing pitchers not be able to watch the game, or they used to.
Yeah.
I think that's so stupid.
Do you know that, Trev? Did I tell you that before?
Such bullshit tactics.
The Yankees had to watch like SpongeBob on their TV.
Simpsons.
The Simpsons. The Astros wouldn't give them the feed, so the bullpen didn't know what was happening in the game because
That's so
Houston would fuck with their TV and not let them watch it.
That's like such like college bullshit. Like this is the pros, people. Ever heard of it?
Every advantage you can get. Watch out for Christian Javier. He's been a weapon for them. 56 pitches his last outing out of the pen. Wouldn't be surprised if Dusty, if they have a couple run lead, if he can get 3 innings out of him to save Graveman or save Presley. As the longer this series goes, he's kind of another X factor for them.
Both teams don't have pitching, like enough pitching to do 7 games with the colors out. That hurts Houston a little bit. But if Sale tinkered and he can give you 5, that's huge. Got to see that first. So, yeah, it's going to be offense heavy, I think.
You don't think the Stros have enough pitching?
Who are their starters?
Framber, Luis Garcia, Urquidy,
Urquidy.
Oda
And then Greinke, probably.
Rizzi, and Grinke as your Javier.
It's good. It's not what like teams of the past have had
Okay.
when they had Cole, Verlander, Greinke, McCullers as their 4.
That's fair.
Here's a big note on the game.
Big note.
Josh Reddick throwing out the first
With
pitch
a wrestler,
for
right?
Game 1. I don't know. I didn't see that. That sounds right, though. Probably smoking a heater on the way out,
Throwing
too.
heaters, smoking heaters.
Mm-hmm.
Was that you just us?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I've been going back and forth. Obviously, I've made my pick preseason. It sucks that I have to stick to these. I wish they were so wrong that I got to pick new teams.
Booker T will provide the play ball call.
What? I love Booker T.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, shit.
Okay.
Y'all fucking
Trev, you
out
can
there?
change your predictions, man. You didn't know McCullers was going to be out.
I didn't know Ozuna was going to be out because he's an idiot, and I didn't know Acuna was going to hurt himself, but I stayed the course, man. I got to continue.
Okay.
I don't care if people say I'm cursing teams or I suck at picking. I don't care about that. Got to stick with the guns, man.
Stay the course.
I still believe right now that the Astros are the better team. McCullers is a huge loss. A huge loss.
Huge.
I just like the storyline. Like kind of the Astros' last hurrah. It's like, boys, we've been doing this for a long time. Correa's going to be out the door. I think there's something to that. Talk about postseason magic. I think there's something to that. I know people hate to talk positively about the Astros. I don't care.
Their lineup, we do. We don't care. Their lineup is super deep. Here is a note. The only lefty in their bullpen in the ALDS was Brooks Raley, with Blake Taylor left off the roster. Instead of a specialist, Houston uses Matan, a righty with reverse splits who limits lefties because the Boston has lefty killers. I mean, Devers, Verdugo, Schwarber. Those are not lefty killers, lefty mashers, batters. They hit from the left side and they're killers. So what's Houston's plan late in the game to get those guys out?
Pray.
Miss their bats. I don't know. Be up more runs.
Snap it.
Be up 5 runs.
Snap it harder.
Yeah, and even Framber's like not a crazy reverse split guy, but he's a reverse split guy. Like he's better against lefties than righties, but he's, so that's good for him early in the game, but late in the game, Jim, to your point, they're going to have to navigate around that.
I hope Framber and Sale both go into the 5th today. And we get a good
I think one will.
game. I don't think so either. I just would like it. I don't want every game to be a shit fest. What's the Red Sox pitching?
Yeah.
You keep talking about bringing all these guys in relief that are penciled into starters.
For the Sox?
Hawk, Pivetta.
Sale game 1, Eovaldi game 2.
And then Erod. Those are their 3, but Sale gave
Erod's 3
gave him 1 inning, so a lot rides on. If they got a bounce from Sale, they're going to go Hawk or Pivetta.
Well,
Hawk.
That's what I think. I wouldn't be surprised if Houck is the plan for today, because you have Eovaldi tomorrow, and he's your guy that you lean on, and then you have the off day, and then you're lining up for the 3-game consecutive part of the series. So I wouldn't. I would bet Cora's either going to Hawk or Piv early.
Yeah, actually, the plan should be Sale for one time through, and then they put all their righties in, and then you drop Houck, who is Sale from the other side, and then see how that goes.
Excuse my language here, but I think Alex Cora went to their staff, and specifically Houck and Pivetta, and said, get your ass ready. You're going to pitch whenever I want you to pitch. And they're okay with that. They prove that they can do that. And that's exactly what they're going to have to do. Because right now it's going to be Sale and Eovaldi, and then Erica put in our notes that Cora said that all the other starters besides those 2 guys will be in the bullpen for those games, ready to go. So the plan right now is only through 2 games, and then they'll figure it out, which I like. Go split a game. Go get 1 game in Houston. Go try to do that.
Does Tucker get the start against Sale tonight?
Do
they do anything?
Probably.
They carry it
Pretty
off.
good.
Yeah, they use them towards the bottom, so I don't know if they would, but I don't know. I guess we'll see.
What's the biggest lead blown in this series in a single game?
5 runs.
Yeah, it could be that.
I think 6.
Boston's defense not very good. Astros defense pretty good.
Mashed potatoes.
All right.
This is a weird one. This is a weird one, man. You know,
Frozen
just when you think you got to lean, it's something else happens.
Strozen 6.
There were some cool stats on their sheet here. This is the 3rd postseason meeting between the two teams in the past 5 years. Astros won 17 divisional series. Boston won the 18 ALCS. It's the 5th year the Astros are in the ALCS.
Bregman's 5 for 5 in his career.
He doesn't know what it's like
To not
be in the championship series. That's wild.
Cool.
That is crazy. 1 World Series title. Right.
Yeah.
All right, man.
And then 1 World Series loss. The Nats, and then the 5 ALCSs they advanced twice.
They won in 17.
This is
They
their 5th.
lost in
This is their 5th,
19.
Yeah.
They lost to the Red
last year
Sox
to the Rays.
and to the Rays. Yeah, okay. This is their 5th. That was tripping me up.
This is their 5th. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the other series.
We predicting?
You want a prediction? I thought you have your prediction.
Well, I'm going Astros, and I need to call the games. I think this is.
I don't think this
I don't know.
goes 7. How about that?
I think it's Astros in 6.
I was going to say that as well.
We're all on it. Lock that in, Janiel.
Oh, no.
Lock that in. Place your bets.
Red Sox in 4.
Go to DraftKings. Lock up Houston in 6. You got 3 smarties in on it. BBD, you in on it?
If Sale,
BBD's in on it.
If Sale goes 6 innings, game 1, don't think he will. If he does, then Red Sox in 5.
Boom. Place a little cheese on both.
Yeah.
Oh, McCullers, come on.
Okay, next matchup. DraftKings is presenting it. They got another week of NFL season. Means another shot to win big at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet just $1 on any NFL game and win $100 in free bets if either team scores a point. The last 0-0 tie in the NFL was 1943, so I'd say this is a no-brainer. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, DraftKings won't leave you empty-handed. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes all season long with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports Contest. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. I just checked. Can't make bets because I'm not in New Jersey. I just checked it. It's 8.5, the over-under tonight. I thought it was going to be higher. I really did.
Pump it.
Pump it.
Unless it's Hulk Show. They get you sometimes with these bets.
Yeah, but what if I told you the final night was 7-5? Believable?
Believable.
So bet the over. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code JOMBOY. Throw down $1 on any NFL game and win $100 in free bets if either team scores a point. Promo code JOMBOY this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or PA only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit, $1 wager required, 1 per customer. Restrictions applied. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
1-800.
Something's going on in the Bronx.
What is that? I'm confused too.
I don't know.
Attaboy.
NLCS.
Trev's NLCS.
Braves Dodgers running it back. Braves had a 3-game lead last year. 3-1, 2-game lead. They had 3 wins.
They were up 3-1.
One win away from the World Series. They did not get that win.
Melanson catching everyone's homer balls. Good times. Bad times.
I don't want to spoil it if you're just catching up on the 2020 season. So they have a 3-1 lead. I'm not going to tell you what happens.
If you're rewatching,
Okay.
not rewatching. If
Yeah.
you bunkered up for
just getting caught
quarantine,
up.
you
Yeah.
just like have it TiVoed.
You think anybody is like doing that?
I think my uncle still does that, and it's like, come on, dude. Like, don't tape games and make the whole world stop. Just get a phone.
We were at our little football game, and Matty Staff's dad was there, and his game was going on, and that was the protocol. We weren't allowed to talk about what was going on because he has it TiVo'd or recorded. Is TiVo a thing still? I think it is.
But it's a great invention.
The name lives on.
I think that DVR stole the name from it.
I still say TiVo'd. I think that's so stupid because I never owned a TiVo.
TiVo had some good sound effects.
I pay for DirecTV. Guess what? I don't.
You
use
never
it.
rewind to see a play ever?
I do
Then
that.
use it.
I do
Use it. That's part of it. I can't do that. We can't do that at the office.
You can't
No.
do that with like the MLB
No, you
app?
need DVR. Well, I
Can
mean,
with the MLB
with
app.
cable.
Our cable at the office does not have a cable rewind
Yeah.
live.
Hmm.
We covered it. Who's in this NL?
We did it.
Do you guys have any idea?
We already said who's in it, bro. Okay.
Yeah, we already said who's in it.
Max versus Max, game 1. Let's go.
You think so?
I think.
Ricky
damn.
Healy.
Third time in 4 years these teams meet in the postseason. Wouldn't have guessed that.
Have they announced Max yet, Freed, or are they going to do the Charlie Morton thing? Game 1.
I don't know if it's announced. It looks like Freed's lined up. Because Morton just pitched on short rest for that deciding game, and Freed didn't pitch, so it's got to be Freed.
I forget which person, one of the reporters was saying like that the decision is whether or not to push Morton for game 2 or save him for game 3.
He's 2 or 3. I don't think he can be 1.
So it could be Max, Ion, and then Morton.
I'd
I
push.
think if Ion
Morton
gets
to
game
3.
3, he's on an extra day of rest, and he's been good with an extra day of rest. And Morton is the same on 4 or 5 days rest or something was the tweet I saw.
Baseball. How did the Braves win the series? Is that the conversation? Because we've all been, let's be honest, we've all been on the Dodgers /